Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Connor Hawke Green Arrow. This is a Gold Label exclusive, and honestly, I'm not really sure where it's exclusive to. Gonna go on a limb and guess Target. I ordered this guy from overseas at Hong Kong, and he arrived today. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus, Gold Label Collection, DC Multiverse, Green Arrow, Connor Hawke. Here is the package. We have a quiver and some arrows. We have a bow, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the package, Green Arrow, Connor Hawke from Green Arrow. At the bottom, there's his barcode, if that helps anybody. In the back, here he is, posed up, taking a shot. So with no further ado, let's open him up. Alright, now that this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. He comes with a display stand, a collector's card, a bow, a quiver, and some arrows. Before I take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Green Arrow, specifically the second version, Connor Hawke. He sometimes goes by the name Hawke. He was first introduced in 1994. This is actually Green Arrow's son. His mother is Sandra Hawke. She's Oliver Queen's ex-girlfriend. At one point, Oliver abandoned them, and Connor was raised by his mother alone. Now, his mother's a black woman, so typically Connor is portrayed as sort of mixed, darker skin. They made this figure pretty much a total white guy. I don't really understand why. I'm sure they've retconned and changed the way he looks time and time again in the DC universe, but I usually am familiar with him looking a little bit darker than this. Like I said, when Oliver Queen died, he became Green Arrow and completely filled in for him for quite a while. And then they brought Oliver Queen back and kind of pushed Connor Hawke to the side. In recent comics, he's sort of a Green Arrow supporting character. I consider him part of Team Arrow, and personally I'm going to use him as a sidekick of Green Arrow's named Hawke. So let's take a closer look. Looks like it's done on the Arsenal Red Arrow body, at least parts of it. It's a little bit smaller guy, and that works because he should be a younger version of Green Arrow. Blonde, spiked hair, green domino mask. Probably my biggest complaint about this figure would be there's a little gap between the hair and the head. It's very, very noticeable, especially once you know to look for it. You can't really not see it. The hair is sculpted pretty nicely. So as a face, it's just that stupid little gap in the corners bothers the hell out of me. As you go further down, he has a predominantly green outfit. It's got brown sort of hood, a little sort of tunic thing on top. It's got a little peg to plug in his quiver, double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, brown boots, a little bit of texturing on the outfit. You can see sort of on the brown part here, and the green is rather smooth. So it's a cool character. He was a member of the Justice League, League of Shadows, Team Arrow, solo work, all kind of stuff. He was a pretty good Green Arrow. He's supposed to be one of the most skilled hand-to-hand comic characters in the DC universe, although there are so many people that can claim that. A nice addition to the DC universe, McFarlane. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. The domino mask seems a little bit big, but the biggest problem is that stupid gap between the hair that really, really affects the figure in a negative way. The hair and the face do look pretty good, but that gap, come on. Now check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. And then we have his collector's card. As you can see, it's Connor Hawke, Green Arrow. On the back side, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now check out his bow, arrow, and quiver. So we have this bow here. Looks like sort of a brown wooden bow. It's got a little bit of sort of gold design on it and a little bit of sculpting where you can grip it. It has this plastic or sort of rubbery piece here that does have some give to it. It would have been cool if it was sort of a little stretchy, bit of string there. Then we have this quiver. Nothing really super special here. Brown leather, little pouches on the side, peg to go into his back, and of course it's hollow to hold the arrows. And speaking of, here are the arrows. A whole bunch of green arrows. Flat at the bottom, just going to fit into his quiver. Now, it would have been really nice if they gave us at least one individual arrow so he could have it in his hand while he's holding the bow like he's about to shoot. Would have been really nice and probably really easy for them to include. Here's Green Arrow holding that bow. Now here it is with the sort of string not stretched out, but if you want to extend his hand, he can sort of pose the bow with the string sort of being pulled back, and it actually looks pretty good. Here's an arrow I have from a previous Green Arrow figure. Fits pretty good. You kind of got to balance it between his two hands, but it definitely makes the bow much more complete than before. They should have included one arrow, even if it's a re-release from one of the ones from a previous Green Arrow figure. Anything. And here he is with the quiver and arrows attached to his back. Now to check out the differences and similarities and reuse between this Connor Hawke Green Arrow and the Arsenal or Red Arrow or Speedy figure. So, obviously the heads are totally different. The torso is also different. I think even the stomach, although it looks similar, is different. The arms, yeah, they could be the same, actually. I'm pretty sure they are. You can still see that sort of sculpted line right here, where it is on him. So everything's the same to the hands. Looks like the sort of crotch diaper piece is the same, including even the belt. And then the legs are the same, although the bottom part is different, as he has boots, and he does not. Looks like the feet are the same too. So, a lot of reuse, but it's actually pretty smart, clever reuse. I wouldn't have noticed if I hadn't taken this figure out for comparison purposes. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and his accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, standing about 6.8 inches tall, which can translate to just over 17 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, you're going to rotate side to side. He can look up, really not at all, down a pretty good amount. You can have him on a rooftop, looking down, pointing his arrow. You can tilt his head from side to side. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up about 90 degrees, maybe a little bit more, up, down, around. He's got a bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate, and it's hinged as well. Torso is a ball joint, rotate around, forward and back. Another one is waist, rotate around, forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion of the torso. I'd say you get more out of the torso than the waist on this guy. Legs, complete with splits, McFarlane style hip joints. Rotation is minimal, but there. Legs go forward about all the way. Back not much. Double jointed knees. And his ankle. Forward and back. Rotate. Tilt and rock. And of course, toe articulation. Here's a look at the Connor Hawke Green Arrow on a rooftop, protecting his city. You hear him say, "You failed this city." And a closer look at Connor Hawke holding his bow and arrow. Now let's check him out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other Green Arrow and Archer figures. Here's the Connor Hawke Green Arrow next to the Oliver Queen Green Arrow. These are both from the comics. I really like the way these two figures look together. Father and son. They could be an archery team. Green Arrow and a sidekick. Connor Hawke. At least that is how it is in my action figure world. And here he is, next to the Injustice 2 version of Green Arrow. The Oliver Queen version, that is. McFarlane actually made 3 different versions of the Injustice 2 Green Arrow. And then here he is, next to McFarlane's CW's Arrowverse Green Arrow. Here are all the different McFarlane DC Multiverse Green Arrow figures they've made so far. We have 6 of them, 5 of which are Oliver Queen. 1 is Connor Hawke. Then, next to McFarlane's Arsenal, previously Speedy, Red Arrow, Arsenal, goes by many names, another Green Arrow sidekick. And there you have it. We have Hawke, Green Arrow, and Arsenal. McFarlane's Team Arrow. I would love if they would add Artemis to the mix. Now let's check him out next to some other Green Arrow figures from different companies. Here he is next to 4 different Green Arrow figures, all from DC Direct, all from CW's Arrowverse. Then, next to Mattel's DC Universe Classics Green Arrow. Here he is, next to all of my Red Arrow figures by McFarlane, Mattel, and DC Direct. Here he is, next to Mattel Artemis, another Green Arrow sidekick. another member of Team Arrow. Here he is, next to a custom Oliver Queen in civilian attire that I put together, as well as John Diggle and Felicity Snoke from the Arrowverse, some more supporting Green Arrow characters and allies, and finally, next to Malcolm Merlyn, the Dark Archer, one of Green Arrow's enemies. Now let's check him out, next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the other figure in his wave. These are both Gold Label exclusives, and I'm not for sure, but I think they're going to be the next wave of Target exclusives. We have Hawke Green Arrow, and the Justice Society of America Hourman. Here's Hawke, next to the McFarlane DC Direct Page Puncher Red Platinum Kingdom Come Starman. Actually just won the raffle, so I have damage on the way as well, but I still need to find the regular versions of that wave, Supergirl and the Kingdom Come Superman. Unfortunately, I missed the order of McFarlane, and it seems like pretty much everywhere else. And here he is, next to some of the most recent Batman comic releases. We have a couple versions of the Rainbow Batman, Purple and Orange, the Justice Lord Batman, Batman 1 Million, and a Cowardly Lot Batman. And then, here's Hawke, next to the Dark Knight Trilogy, Christian Bale Batman, and Batpod 2-pack. And now, with some more recent exclusives, we have the GameStop exclusive, George Clooney Frostbite Batman, and then the Walmart and McFarlane exclusive, Patina Dark Knights of Steel Batman, and Jokerized Death Metal Batman. Here's Hawke, next to the Titano and Flash 2-pack. And here he is, next to the Flesher Superman, Titan's Tempest, Walter West Dark Flash, and the Shadow-packed Nightmaster. Then, with the most recent Batman movie wave, both versions of the Batman Begins Batman, Batman Begins Scarecrow, and the Michael Keaton Batman. And now, with the Flashpoint Thomas Wayne Batman vs. Reverse Flash 2-pack. And finally, with the 9th wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Guy Gardner Green Lantern, Power Girl, and Captain Cold. I'm still on the hunt for the entire Wave 10. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they're typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figure lines, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific wrestling figures, and some Diamond Select toys, here's Hawke, next to a bottle of Cooper's Hawk wine. And here he is, with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figuarts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a pretty cool Hawke Green Arrow figure. I love the fact that it's a brand new character to add to your Justice League or Team Arrow, or hell, even the Titans, or Young Justice. My biggest complaint about this figure would be that gap between the hair and the head. That really hurts him visually. Beyond that, I'd say the missing arrow is a nice complaint. Beyond that, it's a pretty good figure. His accessories are good, except he really needs a single arrow. The sculpt and paint job are good, except the stupid hair issue. And his articulation is everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane figure. If I were to rate this guy, first thought is a 7 out of 10, but that hair is just bothering the hell out of me, so I'm going to bump him down to a 6.5, and maybe I can heat him up and fix the hair. I'll have to just try and find out. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say with the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.